let's move along though, because this is the AEW World Heavyweight Title, but I don't know what that AEW World Heavyweight Title is, but CM Punk also has
That is the real
the real world
AEW Heavyweight Championship.
So over on Collision, they're going to be fighting for the real World Heavyweight title. Ricky Starks versus CM Punk has been set up. And first of all, let me just comment here first about this. I have a comment about this. Shouldn't someone have asked MJF about this? Like, where are all the reporters? Like, wouldn't a good reporter be like, hey, did you just hear what CM Punk said? He was in the main event in a tag title match. So there's that. And then another thing was Ricky Steamboat somehow was set up as a special guest referee for a match that was just randomly set up on the moment. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? But okay, that's fine. But let's hear your thoughts on how the brand split, and there's two world titles now, and basically Collision and Dynamite are pretty separate. They have pretty different styles of show, and anything you want to comment on about all this. Again, I'm going to start with Brian this time. Let's hear what you have to say about any of this.
Well, first of all, I would just say the reason that Ricky Steamboat has been involved is because of his past history with CM Punk and Ring of Honor. There was something that happened between the two of them way back in the day in Ring of Honor, where Ricky Steamboat was involved in some angle or some program that he had going on. So that's why CM Punk called out Ricky Steamboat.
Oh, he's just his friend. Like, he knows he'll come if I ask him.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's cool.
But yeah, honestly, like I'm enjoying Collision a lot, and I do like how there is a different cadence to this show versus Dynamite. And I've enjoyed every episode of Collision up to this point. And honestly, if I'm being honest, which I am, I'm not gonna lie to you, motherfuckers. I think I would probably hazard a guess where it's like I've probably enjoyed Collision more than Dynamite recently. But this whole situation of CM Punk carrying around this other belt, like, I kind of just rolled my eyes from like, oh, here we go again. All right, so now we've got,
That's
Punk.
true. It happened in WWE.
Yeah.
It did, yeah. It's like I'm kind of over people wrestling and like booking these matches for titles that are not recognized. I'm like, I don't care.
Well, he never lost it. Is there any?
I know he didn't. But to your point, Kehan, where it's like, I saw that segment and I thought the promo segment was great. I mean, CM Punk, I'm a big fan. Brawl out notwithstanding, whatever. Like, I'm glad he's back. I'm a fan of CM Punk. But when he introduced this concept, the fact that he is the, undefeated champion, he never lost that belt, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm with you on that. But to your point, he never mentioned MJF, and MJF was on the show. The actual AEW World Champion was competing on the same show. There was no interaction. There was no mention. And I just found that odd.
Yes.
Because especially with MJF's character, where it's like, okay, so ostensibly he's in the back, right? Because he's in the main event of the show. We just talked about his match, And so CM Punk is out here talking about how he's the unclaimed or the undefeated champion. Like, no one beat him for this belt. And I'm like, well, I just kept waiting for MJF's music to hit or something to come out and be like, bro, all right, I hear you, but I am the AEW World Champion. And there was none of that. And they just kind of set up this match with Ricky Starks, which I'm sure will be good because I'm a big Ricky Starks fan. I love Ricky Starks.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm not, this is one of those things where it's, I'm sure the match will be good, and it's got Angle Alert written all over it because you got, Ricky Steamboat being a special guest ref. Like, I don't see this ending in any sort of, fashion where it's like we're going to get an answer to this whole thing. But yeah, the fact that MJF didn't come out and retort or even mention it in some passing way, like, that stuck out to me like a sore thumb. So
All right, so it wasn't just me then. All right.
no.
Robert, Were you thinking the same thing or what?
I Not really. I just feel like since MJF has his own angle with
It's
Adam
true.
Cole at the
He is
moment,
preparing for a
and then
match.
yeah, and CM Punk has to deal with has his angle with Ricky Starks. They both have to kind of take care of their own business, their business at hand first. But I do think like I believe the fans will can think that MJF has his own thoughts about what CM Punk says, and at some point he will say something. It's just not now, but definitely, yeah, they're gonna come to blows again at some point. So it will be mentioned. They're just not doing it right now because they're both in their own separate angles. So yeah, I didn't really think that.
They're in
All
their own
right.
separate universes. The
Glad.
Collision universe and the Dynamite universe.
Well,
They just
they could have done this tag team match on Dynamite so that they wouldn't have been in the same building. I guess could have been uh, a small thing they could have done to fix that. But
well,
glad.
you're right. I think FTR has been competing mainly in Collision since it
I
started,
know.
I think.
Yeah.
So
And
It's
Collision
true.
needs a big match to maintain, their ratings on that show. So I got no, problems with them having that tag team match, that tag title match on Collision. And like I said, they did a great rating. So yeah, that's great.
Let me just get Vlad's thoughts real quick before we move on. Did this bother you the way it bothered me?
Not really. Not. I kind of more with Robert on this one. I
Two,
think.
huh? Okay.
Well, I know. Well, I mean, obviously, there's a greater political issue within the company. The divide. There's no true leadership in the sense that people don't want to work with each other. People want to be on separate shows. It's pretty ridiculous when you're paying these guys the amount of money that some of these guys are getting to say, "Oh, I don't want to work here. I want to work here only. I want to work there." I mean,
Yeah,
suck
good
it
point.
up. Suck it up and work with each other for God's sakes. You're getting paid 6 figures, 7 figures. Some of you guys, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Just get out there and be professionals. I mean, with the money that you're getting paid, with the TV time that you're getting. Anyway, that's the biggest story. As far as this, I don't want to go too much into that. Maybe you have that for another discussion. So I don't want to go too deep into that. But as far as this angle, I mean, obviously I'm happy for Ricky Starks. I want him to get some shine. I think he deserves it. He's a really good talent. He's really good on the
Agreed.
mic. He's been underutilized for so long. I think it's time that he's kind of in a main event angle. And the one thing I will say though, for Punk, he did mention MJF not this past week, but I think 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was past this. I know he mentioned MJF in one of those weeks. I can't remember now. It's all kind of blending in, where he did say when he was talking about Starks, like you're just this like MJF in the sense that you're just all talk or something to that effect. And that I'm the real champion, something to that effect. So he did mention him. I just can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago when they were at their face to face.
Well, MJF mentioned Punk too a little bit.
That's right. He did. He mentioned not in a good way, not in a nice way. But anyway,
It's all in the air. It's all in the air. This whole thing is hanging around.
And yes, of course, in the end, they're going to meet up, and have the match, or maybe more than one match. I don't know what the plan is, and it's going to be great. Hopefully, that's the hope. But that is the plan, and we'll see. So I'm happy with what's going on Collision, because I'm happy that Starks gets some shine. I think Punk has enough shine, and that Starks gets some rub, as far as working with someone like Punk. So that's
All
it.
right. Well, listen, I'll come back to AEW in a little bit, but I'm gonna jump over to WWE. I got one more topic before, and then we got a game, and then we got SummerSlam predictions.
We got games.
I got a game, kind of.
Oh, nice.
I'll
Okay. Yeah.
A game. I can't. This I don't know what's coming with the game.
wow,
sort of.
I wasn't
Yeah.
ready for this.
That's a great tease right there, Kate. I like it.
Well, I slapped something together, but you'll see.